Every single year, millions of people sit in a doctor's office and hear one word, a word that completely changes the trajectory of their lives and the lives of everyone they love: cancer. Man, it carries such a heavy emotional weight, right? We often think of it as this sudden strike, just a tragedy that appears out of nowhere. But what if I told you that cancer doesn't actually begin in a single day? In this explainer, we're going to decode the silent buildup of this disease. We'll look at the microscopic origins, those quiet little signs, and ultimately how understanding this whole process is absolutely our most powerful weapon.
Because here's the thing, cancer builds silently. It doesn't just happen overnight. It happens cell by cell, sign by sign. And unfortunately, most of us completely miss it until it's, well, much further along. So pay really close attention here, because the information in this explainer could literally save a life. Maybe yours, maybe someone you care deeply about. Let's make sure you know exactly what to look for before that silent buildup becomes something much, much louder.
Section 1, the silent shift. Okay, let's dive into this and move away from the abstract threat for a second to look at the actual cellular biology of what's happening right inside the human body. Let's walk through the exact biological mechanism here. It's kind of like a giant puzzle. Step 1 is the perfect system. Every single day, your body replaces around 330 billion cells. I mean, that's a staggering number, isn't it? It's a beautifully orchestrated, perfect biological system. But step 2, well, that's where the shift happens, breaking the rules. Cancer actually begins when just a tiny fraction of these cells simply stop following their biological instructions. They go totally rogue. And this leads directly to step 3, uncontrollable growth. These mutant, rule-breaking cells just grow without stopping. They form tumors and they start to invade nearby perfectly healthy tissues. And if left unchecked, we hit step 4, the spread. This is when the cancer packs up and moves from its original location to completely different areas of the body. And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate threat. That fourth step has a specific medical term, and you've probably heard it: metastasis. This is, without a doubt, the most dangerous stage of cancer. When those rogue cells detach from the primary tumor, travel through the bloodstream or your lymph system, and take root in other organs, well, the complexity of treating the disease skyrockets. So stopping the progression before it ever reaches metastasis, that is the absolute primary goal of early detection. Section 2, the most common types. So we've looked at the cellular level. Now let's shift our focus to how this microscopic cellular mutation actually manifests into the localized physical diseases we recognize. Over 100. You know, a really huge misconception out there is that cancer is just one single disease. Actually, scratch that. It's not a single disease at all. It's a broad, massive umbrella category containing over 100 distinct variations. Depending on exactly which cells in the body decided to stop following the rules, the resulting disease is going to look and act very, very differently. Out of those 100+ variations, the most common ones globally include breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, prostate cancer, and blood cancer, which we also know as leukemia. Now, because these affect entirely different systems in the body, they behave differently, right? They require totally different treatments. But, and this is an absolutely crucial but, despite all their differences, they often share remarkably similar early indicators. And recognizing those shared indicators, that's what gives us the upper hand. Section 3, listen to your body. I really want you to internalize this concept. Maybe even write this phrase down. The body whispers before it screams. Your body is highly intelligent, and it's always going to try to tell you when the system is breaking down. Think about those whispers for a second. These are subtle physical changes. They are so easy to brush off, aren't they? You might blame them on stress, getting older, or just a really crazy work week. Now, contrast that with the screams. This is what happens when those early hints are totally ignored until they become unavoidable and potentially a deadly mistake. The real danger lies in waiting for the screams. We literally have to train ourselves to hear the whispers. Vigilance is absolutely key here. So, what exactly do those whispers sound like? Well, here are 6 critical warning signs you should never, ever ignore. Number 1, unexplained weight loss. If you're dropping pounds and you haven't changed your diet or hit the gym more often, take note. Number 2, constant fatigue. We're talking about the kind of exhaustion that just doesn't go away, even after a good night's sleep. 3, lumps or swelling anywhere in the body. 4, a persistent cough or hoarseness that just lingers on and on. 5, any changes in your skin or moles or any unusual bleeding. And 6, long-lasting pain with no clear, obvious reason. Now, to be incredibly clear here, having these signs does not always mean you have cancer, but ignoring them
That is never an option. Go to a doctor and let them figure out the actual cause. Section 4. What triggers cancer? Okay, so we know the signs. But what actually causes that perfect biological system to break down in the first place? Let's identify the triggers. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it really comes down to a complex mix of environmental, lifestyle, and genetic triggers. You've got factors like smoking and tobacco use, an unhealthy diet paired with a lack of exercise, and heavy alcohol consumption. Then you have environmental exposures, think pollution and harmful chemicals. And finally, of course, you have genetics and your family history. It's a really complex web of inputs that ultimately dictates the health of our cells. Now, I know looking at that list of triggers can feel heavy, especially those genetic factors that, let's face it, we're just born with. But I want to shift the tone here for a minute, because this right here is the truth of the matter. Not all cancer is preventable. We just can't control every single genetic variation or environmental exposure. But many cases absolutely are preventable. We actually hold a massive amount of power over our own risk levels simply by addressing those lifestyle triggers we just talked about. Section 5, protecting your future. Let's talk about the shield. These are the holistic, macro-level prevention strategies that you can literally put into practice right now. Building a strong biological protection plan requires stacking daily habits. It's the little things. Eat natural whole foods to give your cells the right fuel. Stay physically active to keep all your systems regulating properly. Avoid tobacco completely, just full stop on that one. Limit your alcohol intake, protect your skin from sun damage, and crucially, go for regular health checkups. Every single one of these points represents a small daily choice. But when you stack those choices up over weeks, months, and years, man, they add up to a profound defense against cellular mutation. So the crucial takeaway is this. Even with the absolute best habits, you still have to be checking in. Early detection increases survival rates dramatically. I mean, it is a real game changer. Catching rogue cells at step 2 or 3 way before they ever reach metastasis is so often the literal difference between life and death. Doing that preventative maintenance and getting screened early, that is hands down the greatest gift you can give your future self. I want to leave you with this final, really important thought. Don't wait for symptoms to become pain. Don't wait for pain to become regret. Your awareness is your absolute most powerful weapon. You know the whispers to listen for now, and you know the habits that build your defense. So the only question left is, are you going to start listening to those whispers today, or are you going to wait until your body starts to scream?